Yay!
Woohoo! So, what's up, Ripple Effect? You got a case to chime in? No? Okay. Did you want to start or do you want me to? Me. All right. So, welcome to our Friday call. First things first, moving forward after today, we are going to be doing this call at 9:30 Mountain Time, 10:30 Central, and 11:30 Eastern. Yeah. So, we're going to change all that information, but we want to make sure that we put that on here so that if you actually watch the video, you see that first. Hold on. Got to take my gum out. How unprofessional is that? So, today we want to talk about, first of all, how things have been going with the week. Since Tess is the only one joining us, we kind of talked about her week a little bit and where she's going with some of her groups. So if you guys have questions, please make sure you're letting us know. If you're having conversations that you feel like they're not going anywhere, screenshot them and send them our way or pop them in the group, because there is always learning opportunity on how to do something different. So I don't want to take time doing that today, just because there's only the three of us right now, and we want to get right to the heart of our call. Today we want to talk about, what did we name it? Basically, keeping loyal customers. We want loyal customers, and what does that mean, and how do we go about doing that? Because the first thing that's super important to understand is that a customer can work with any coach they want. So just because a customer was assigned to you, or a customer bought a product from you, or they signed up with you, maybe they even changed coaches to be with you. They can change coaches again if they want. They can choose to work with whoever they want to work with. And we want to keep our customers loyal to us. And we want to, because we want a big customer base. We want to help as many people as we can, but it doesn't hurt our pockets either. I got to open the right meeting notes.
You're good.
Just
And the
kidding.
other thing that's important about keeping customers loyal to us is it looks bad. It looks bad when people say, oh, I had a coach, I signed up, I bought from them, and then they didn't help me anymore. That looks bad. We don't want to be those coaches. So we want to make sure even after the 30 days is up, and let's say they don't decide to become a coach, we're still checking on them. We still have a group to put them in. Like, we just want to make sure we're honoring the fact that they chose us as their coach.
There's a couple things with that too. I've got customers right now that are getting ready to kind of look back at starting their journey again. Customers that literally, they did a program with me a year ago, and I've continued to keep up with them, and I'll check in with them every once in a while. And, you know, some of them were friends in a previous life that I reconnected with through Beachbody, but because I continue to check in, they continue to follow me. It generates more interest when I say, hey, you know, I've really missed seeing you. I've been following a little bit about how you're doing. Are you ready to jump back in a group? There's a group for you. And in my conversation with them, I say, you already have your program. You know, it's not the hook. Hey, let me sell you a new program so you can join the group. You already have your program. Why don't you get reconnected with the group that I have you in? And then I'll ask them, or are you interested in information on maybe a different program? Because a lot of times, I mean, you guys know it, a lot of times, many of you came in doing the 21-day fix, and you'll do the 21-day fix for a couple of rounds because it's only 3 weeks long. So after 3 rounds of the 21-day fix, you're kind of done. Either you've sort of plateaued and your body's just kind of used to it. Not that it's easier, but your body's used to it. Or you don't want to drag yourself out and do the same workout again. So you need to mix it up. And it's an opportunity to continue conversations with people about the new programs coming out and different things, especially this time of year. We want to make sure that we're continually connecting with our customers so that this time of year, when we talk about new programs, when we talk about new launches, they buy into it. Prior to recording this call, we were talking with Tess a little bit, and she said she had some great challengers that, you know, they kind of did their challenge during, you know, that month of the challenge group, and then sort of fall off and sort of disappear. And part of it was a smaller group. You know, some of you, as you're doing your first groups, might only have 3 people in them. And don't discount having a small group of 3 people. Those small groups can turn into the 3 best coaches that you'll ever have down the line, or they can be the 3 biggest success stories that you've had, or they can be those that refer the most people ever to your business. It's an opportunity to connect more one-on-one with people, and that's where our loyalty is going to come in. It's awesome to have big hype and big energy from a challenge group. I mean, we all want to be in a group that's engaging. I mean, who doesn't? But when you have a group that maybe isn't engaging, it's going to stretch and push you as a coach to do a little bit more. which isn't a bad thing because you're going to have to check in more one-on-one, have those conversations. If you only have 3 people, there's no reason that you can't be privately messaging weekly. You know, Sunday comes around, hey, you know, how are things going? What are you liking about the group? What would you like to see different? What challenges are, especially if they're not communicating that in the group, you know, what challenges are you having? With that being said, many of you are starting to use the Challenge Tracker app. And when you have a bigger group, this is a great opportunity to keep track of what your folks are doing. You know, if you do have a big group, maybe you're not paying attention to who posts every single day, but you can pull up that one screen that shows you who's logged workouts, who's been drinking their shake. And it gives you a chance to go back and check in specifically with people. Hey, you know, I noticed that you haven't logged workouts. I just wanted to check in. You know, do you have any questions? Are you doing them? Maybe you just haven't logged them in. Because, you know, a lot of times life gets in the way. Christine works out like 14 times a day, but she doesn't always log the workout in. So it happens. But it's a good excuse to check in with them. Or especially when it comes to Shakeology and you know they have it. Hey, I noticed you haven't logged it. Have you been drinking it? Because a lot of times you get a new customer and they try Shakeology the first time and they're like, oh my gosh, this is disgusting. Because maybe they just threw it in a shaker bottle and shook it up and they didn't blend it and they didn't add anything to it and they're not used to that. And so they think it's gross. And you want to talk them through that. Hey, try this recipe or whatever it may be. That makes sense. Christine, do you want to jump in or do you want me to keep rolling?
Well, I just wanted to, when you're, no, I don't have any. When you are having your customers, you need to remember what made you loyal to your coach. Like specific, oh my goodness, he was silent until I unmuted myself. Silent. What made you loyal to your coach? Was it that they checked in with you? Was it because, especially with your niche market, the things that made you loyal to your coach are what is going to make people loyal to you. So you want to think about that. Hey, Tanya, when you're signing up people and when you're checking in with them and when you're going through that list of people that have been quiet, think about what can I do that was done for me that helped. That's all I wanted to add.
Okay. So Tanya, I think I totally messed you up when we were talking about changing the time of this to, yeah, totally my bad. We will be doing that moving forward because our world got away from us and we forgot to tell everybody else. Okay. But right now we're just talking about keeping loyal customers, why it's important, and some strategies and ways to keep people loyal to you. And so we were just initially talking challenge groups. Okay. All right. So a couple things that are going to help keep folks loyal to you. And like Christine said, it's so important to think what made you be loyal to the coach that you have. Now, for some of you, it might be like, well, I didn't know any other coaches. So I didn't know there were options. I didn't know I could change, or I was too lazy to change. Okay, that might be the case, but there's usually something. And I know especially those of you that are working with Christine, like most of you have been with her from the beginning. And then you finally jumped on as coaches. And so what was it that kept you like hanging out with her? Because we know she's kind of different, right? Just saying. So what kept you connected to her and wanting to continue to work with her? A lot of this is also going to come down to your social media. And even though you're connecting and talking to these folks one-on-one, they're going to continue to follow you on social media. And if you fall off the face of the earth, they're going to start looking for a coach that's more consistent. Because that's how I've actually attracted a lot of folks that maybe they're not working with a coach already, but they've got a ton of coaches that live on the same street as them, you know, or a ton of coaches that they're friends with on Facebook. And when we talk, they specifically say, you know, I know a lot of coaches, but I don't ever see them doing anything, or I haven't seen or noticed any changes. And so they want to work with me because they know that I'm going to be there when they need me to be. Not because I'm, you know, so awesome and I'm doing crazy things on Facebook, but because I'm consistent and I'm there. Because think about it, when you're going into a health and fitness journey, you want somebody that's going to be there and isn't going to fall off when things get hard for you. So there was a couple things that I also wanted to add, and I'm not even looking. So I'm going to not go off of our list, Christine, so you can clean up. But a couple steps to keep customers loyal. Hold on, because there's a lot of barking. And I don't hear any goats, but there is barking. Spirit, I feel like Christine now.
Okay.
They were so quiet. No, okay, I'm ready. So a couple steps to keeping your customers loyal. First thing, listen to their stories and ask them questions. Okay? It's so important that we know, why our people want to be doing what they're doing. Why are they doing this health and fitness thing? Some of you, like I know Tanya had an awesome group and she drew a whole bunch of people in because they had a reunion coming up. And her people want to look good for a reunion. Okay, beyond the reunion now. Now you got in some shape for that. What is your story? Why do you want to keep doing this? What's going to drive you? If we don't know their story, we can't be as beneficial. We can't be as helpful. It makes it a whole lot easier when you check in to have something to talk about. So we need to know their story in order to make a difference with them. And it helps us have that personal connection. So we need to be asking them questions. We need to make their goals and their agendas our priority. It's not what my goal is. My goal for somebody might be for them to lose 50 pounds by Christmas. Well, not right now. That would be a little absurd. But their goal might only be 10 by Christmas. Even though I know they could do more, it doesn't matter what my goal is. We have to focus on what their goal is, meet them where they're at. Now, if we think they can do more than they're suggesting, I mean, we definitely talk to people about their goals and get to the why and why are they limiting in some places. But it's important that we focus on them and what they're doing it for. Also, during those goals, especially if they're a weight loss goal, especially if they're a big number goal, we need to make sure that we're celebrating each step along the way, each benchmark they hit. If you have somebody that's looking to lose 50 pounds, like, we got to celebrate like the stepping stones to get there. If you have somebody that, you know, maybe they're doing a program, and we had a girl that her goal each time she did a workout was to modify one less move. So each time she modified one less move, we had to make a big celebration of it. You have to celebrate those stepping stones. And a lot of times we forget that, and we forget to do that and with ourselves, we do the same thing. So that's huge, is, again, making their goals our priority. We need to be believing in them and focusing on them individually. Because we know, especially as women, we doubt ourselves, we doubt our worth, we doubt our capabilities, whether it's just because of something we did or stupid things that people say, the way Satan gets in our heads. So we need to make sure that we're believing in them and showing that we believe in them by continuing to show up daily for them. Because it's one thing to say, yep, I believe in you, and then you leave them hanging. We want to make sure that we are discussing what their vision is. Like, what does that look like? What is it that you want? And then help create a plan that's going to fit them. Help walk them through that. So when I say, you know, this goal, I might think somebody can lose 50 pounds by Christmas, and they think they can only lose 10. Well, let's talk about that. Like, what is your vision? How do you see this happening? You know, what are reasonable benchmarks along the way? And I keep using the weight number just because it's easy and it's in my head now because I said it once. And the other huge thing is we need to realize that this, what we're doing with them doesn't end when they hit that initial goal. What we're doing with our customers and how we create loyalty is this, like, we're in this for life with them. As long as they want us to be in their journey, we need to be there with them. We need to, like, not just help them reach their vision, but we need to help them see beyond that. Now, sometimes it might be creating new visions. It might be creating new benchmarks. Sometimes it might just be there to be checking in and hand holding when they need it, or if they feel like they're falling off, be there to help pick them up. But we need to make sure that we are keeping this long-term commitment to them. And that's where people are going to stay loyal to us. I just checked in with a woman recently, and she fell off. She wasn't in a group for a long time. I just checked back in, how are things going? What are you up to? She reached some goals, and then she's been doing some running and other stuff, and it sparked a conversation. And in the conversation, she said, I've been training for a half marathon or a marathon. I can't remember now. Such a great example. And I was able to find out, well, when is it? Okay, well, it was a month out. So each week I was, checking in. How's the training going? As it came up, how did it go? What did it look like? Because at that time, that was her goal. That was her focus. She wasn't doing Beachbody. Doesn't mean that I don't care about what she's doing with her health and fitness. And she starts the conversation incorporating, I need to get more core stuff back in. I focused all on running and not this. So it helps create that loyalty when you're showing an interest in them and their goals. Go ahead, Christine, because I saw you unmute.
Well, we have a tool to help us with this, especially with your current customers. You have an office. So I am actually using the list that we created because,
I'm going off of the awesome thing that I listened to this morning.
So in your office, you can copy and paste your email list from your customers and your coaches into your personal email and send them. And you can do one to just your coaches and one to just your customers, or to both. But then you can send emails. So in these emails, what are you sending? You're adding value. Like Dawn talked about, just like with your social media, you're giving them tips, or you're sharing sales news from Beachbody. Quarter Force is a perfect example. This is an opportunity for the message to come from you. Yeah, they're going to get an email from Beachbody, but it's coming from you. That's better. Recipes, things that you have coming up, sharing what's new from On Demand. They're always adding stuff. They're always moving things around. This is your chance to reach out and just say, hey, I'm here as your coach, as your friend. How can I help you? Ask how you can support them. Ask for feedback. I know for me, that whole like, what can I do better is a little scary because a lot of people are going to tell you, but it's a really good opportunity to grow as a coach and see where you drop the ball. And the nice thing about email is it just opens up another opportunity of conversation. So now you have another place that you are talking to them. So your online office gives you that. If anybody has questions on how to do it, let me know. It's really easy. You just pull your customer list up and bam, it's there. But you can pull it out into Excel. You can save the files and pop it into your Gmail or Ymail or whatever you have. It's really easy. So just with that, I want to reiterate what Dawn said. You always need to have a group open for your customers, regardless of what they purchased, regardless of when they purchased, regardless of how long ago. They need to have a place. And that's just for me personally. I know a lot of coaches maybe that don't do that. Do you want to know what happens to their customers? They come to people like us who have groups open. And that's, Melanie just got someone for that exact reason. She signed up as a discount coach, as a loyalty coach, and then they didn't treat her with very much loyalty. They said, oh, well, you're not working the business, so we're not helping you. Well, that's not very nice. Now is it? So we want to make sure that we are, like Dawn said, getting into their vision and then honoring their vision by meeting them there, meeting them where they are, and then supporting those goals, regardless of whether or not we think they'd be a killer business builder or a top model in a Beachbody competition. What they want needs to be what we want. And Dawn said it perfectly. Stay on their radar. Personal messages are a beautiful thing. Phone calls are even better. Those little messages through the instant messenger, voice messenger, those are really fun. Try not to use the whole minute. And I just know this from personal experience. If I see a 15-second message, 30-second message, I'm going to open it. If I see a bunch of messages that are a minute long, I might wait before I open it. And I'm just saying this from personal. If it's your friend, that's cool. But if you're reaching out to a customer or a prospect or someone who's fallen off, you might want to keep it short and sweet so that they're not like, I don't have time. I'm not opening that. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Okay, that was all I had.
I won't defend myself. I won't.
It's not just you. I get it from other people too. And I'm like,
just to clarify, you do not do that to customers.
Yes,
for anybody who's curious about what I do. Anyway, but those personal voice messages are a huge touch. And especially when you are talking to prospects and when you are talking to customers. And one of the greatest things, I've got a couple of customers and it's the month of birthdays. And I've mentioned this before, and Kelly did it on my birthday, and I thought it was amazing. And she wasn't the only one. There were a couple other people that were Beachbody coaches one that I didn't even know, left me personal messages on my birthday. And it was so touching and so different than just posting on my wall. And I did that with a couple people recently. And the messages back were, oh my gosh, that totally just made my day. Thank you so much for that message. Instead of just posting on their wall. And it's a great way to connect. And the one was a customer, and I just simply said, I am praying you have the most blessed day. I am so thankful that our paths recrossed through this Beachbody stuff. I did mention it. And I was sincere. I wasn't just trying to get, she's going to be a killer coach one day. But anyway, and I said, I'm so thankful that through this Beachbody thing, our paths reconnected. It was somebody that I knew and was very good friends with in college, but life happens. And that was a long time ago. And so it's, hey, I'm so glad our paths reconnected. I just hope that you have amazing blessings throughout the year. And then I mentioned something specific to her, like, I know that this was a year of crazy transitions, and I, and made it personal. And that's going to go a long way, especially with customers that you have on Facebook, especially customers that maybe have fallen off the radar. So utilize some of those tools because it's awesome sauce. What else do we have? That was it. So,
Because making, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So I don't know, it's kind of on this track, the same piece of mind, whatever. So I actually had a question with all of my, I started promoting my Facebook giveaway thing, with trying to get more customers because I do want to build a client base that I can start utilizing these tools with. And so I've had a lot of people who I have no idea who they are liking my business page and liking my Facebook posts. How do I reach out to somebody that I have no idea who they are?
Dude, that's awesome because I don't get that. So you're doing some awesome things on social media.
Yeah. So you get a high five in your social media. Step 1, high five yourself. Step 2, I will first, if they like my post, invite them to like my business page. And then I will actually click on their profile and try to see if they want to be my friend. And then I will send them a message and I will just say, thank you for liking my post. Like seriously, that's all you need to say. Thank you for liking my post. And usually that's enough to spark a conversation and you can start building someone from that. Obviously what you did piqued their interest and they want to talk to you. So, and I think people really appreciate it when you reach back out to them.
Okay.
Chest up, shoulders back, because I know it's scary. I'm always like, oh, they're going to think I'm weird, but they liked your post. So It's not weird.
Yeah, they open. And like Christine said, look at their profile first because you might see that they're a Beachbody coach and everything on there is Beachbody. And you can still say, hey, thanks for liking my post. You can still invite them to your page, but you're going in with a different mentality. I mean, you know that, hey, like they're not looking for it. And a lot of times Beachbody, because I do it all the time to other Beachbody coaches, I just like their stuff so that they have more engagement. I'm just trying to help them out. But yeah.
Because it was and this is, I'm so bad at this, is I word vomit everywhere. Like with people, I give them like everything all in the very first message. Mm-hmm. This is what it is. This is the price. This is blah, blah. I just word vomit everywhere. And so with these people, I haven't done anything yet because I wasn't sure since it was on the Facebook or if it was on my Fix 8 giveaway. If I just start with, hey, thanks for liking my post, are you interested?
Yeah.
Do I just right off the bat go with that? Are you interested? Like you liked this?
If it was your giveaway post, I would say, yeah, I would definitely. And also depending on your wording. I mean, did you say, hey, like my post or whatever? I mean, because sometimes people say, if you're interested, like or comment.
Okay. See, I just said, I don't think I have to think about what even
even if you didn't say that, I would say, hey, I thank you for liking my post. Are you interested? Like Dawn said. Yeah. And if you're afraid to say that, you can just say, thank you for liking my post. What did I do that got a like out of you?
Right.
Always finish with a question. Always, every time.
Okay.
Always. Because then if you don't, then they don't have a reason to get back to you.
And the only advice I can give you with word vomit is you don't ever have to hit send right away. You can take a deep breath. You can reread. You can go back through. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, and then I've been delete. Oh, they don't delete. Oh, they didn't even ask me that. Delete. And then it's this long and I'm ready to send it. Whereas if I'm in a hurry and then I hit send and I have to follow up with, I'm really sorry, I just vomited all that on you. And then I ask a quick question to hopefully like make them forget what just happened. So.
I actually had to do that just a couple days ago. I sent her a message. I'm like, I have to apologize. Like I bombarded you with because it was totally cricketed. As soon as I sent her this huge, that thing. it was crickets. And so I'm like, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm just here. I try to turn into, I just get really excited. So I expect everybody else to be as excited as I am, but you don't know the product. You don't know, and that's okay. I'm just here to support you in any way that I can.
That's exactly how you should handle it. At least I think.
Okay. Sorry, come here.
How you doing there, Tanya?
Want to come say hi?
Got anything? Any questions, Tanya? She's like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Learning. Say hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, kid.
Sawyer.
Hi, Sawyer.
Hi.
Well, I mean, now, if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them our way. Otherwise, unless Dawn has anything else, I have nothing else for you.
Tanya, did you have any thoughts or questions?
No,
You're going to say I stayed loyal to Dawn because she scared me.
she didn't scare me.
Following me and wouldn't leave me the heck alone.
You're bugging me, so I just came in.
And I didn't want to leave you because then you were going to bother me more.
Awesome.
Do you two have anything in particular that you want us to talk about next week? Or any questions that maybe they're not on this topic, but they're kind of stirring in your brain? It's okay.
No.
If you think of them, let us know. Again, moving forward, we will be meeting at the 9:30 time. I do want to keep, after we end the recording, Tanya and Tess, did you guys want to talk a little bit about the quarter force stuff?
Sure.
So why don't we'll end the recording. We'll say
High
bye.
five. Say peace out, juices.